to Boston, down to Florida, down to Texas. Those were like 3 good money-making places.
When my mom was wrestling, I absolutely hated it. I absolutely thought it was the most disgusting thing ever that she could possibly do. The men that she wrestled were creepy. They were weird. It was embarrassing.
I'm the one that paid for everything. Made Ray happy that it was paying for his steroids.
This is where all men belong, down at my feet.
In 1993, I spent $24,000 on him. Bodybuilding is an expensive hobby. Unless you're winning the shows.
This is an Olympic bodybuilding championship day.
That year, Ray qualified for the Mr. Olympia.
He was so excited, he was crying, and he had so much joy that he was getting invited to the most prestigious event of bodybuilding. These are the best in the world. He realized, I'm one of the best in the world.
For Ray, the Mr. Olympia was the holy grail. And now, his destiny was all up to him.
Mr. Olympia was the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. In 1993, the check for winning was $100,000, but the peripheral benefits of being Mr. Olympia were endless. Exhibitions, interviews, layouts, endorsements. When you were Mr. Olympia, it was like, oh, you're the king. You're the king of bodybuilding for that year.
Up next here at the Olympia is Ray McNeil out of Oceanside, California.
When you come out there, okay, it's just you, the lights, the crowd, the judges. The stage is yours. You got to kill it. You have to make sure every body part is just gorging with blood so everything's popping. Your biceps, your triceps, your chest, your back, your lats, everything's just got to be exploding. Ray had some nice charisma, good-looking guy. His leg development was a little lacking. His calves were not good at all. And the competition is so intense.
The reigning Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates.
I mean, they call Dorian Yates the Shadow.
His personality it always did flip. I remember, so I always stayed up and waited for my dad to come home because there was one specific situation. My mom doesn't even know this happened. Him and Jinx used to bounce at bars, and my dad came home and he was covered in blood, like from head to toe. He had scratches all over him. And I said, Dad, what happened? And he didn't even notice that I was there in the house, and he came flying in the house and was like, what do you mean? And I said, Dad, you have blood everywhere. So I cleaned him up, and he was telling me there were some bad guys at a bar fighting, and he had to protect himself because they were trying to kill him, and he ended up blinding somebody by sticking his hands in their eyes, and he had to blind somebody to get away. I don't know if that happened. I don't know. I just know that the panic in his face that was the first time he had ever told me not to tell anybody anything.
I remember that. We worked together as bouncers at a club, and I've seen some horrifying stuff he did to people that night. I heard it said emergency up front. When I was coming up front, a lot of people were saying, stop, you're gonna kill him. And he finally let go of the guy, but when I came up, the guy, he was bleeding through his eyes. So they took the guy in the ambulance. Ray didn't get arrested because the cops all knew us. But he says, he told him you kind of named the guy, he might be blind. So that guy wound up being blind.
Everybody liked Ray. They thought he was a nice guy. If he was in a bad mood, he could just come home and take it out on me. I wasn't telling on him, so they had no idea what a monster he was.
I would say between 8 and 12 years old, I knew that something was not right with our household and how we were living. My stepdad was physically abusive to my mother, very physically abusive.
The first time he choked me, I thought he was gonna kill me. That was shocking. And, my mind is trying to black it out. This is gonna bring up a lot of stuff that, you know, I can put away, and now it's bringing it back up. It was like a lot of times when he would attack me, he would just instantly choke me. And it was like, why you gotta choke me? That could kill me. I should not have allowed it to get to that. I should have left a long time ago. I should have left him the third day we were married. That day, he punched me in the face, cracked my lip, and then he apologized to me and he said, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, and I believed him.
My dad would come back, bring flowers and candies and tell her he loved her and he's gonna change. And she would always tell me, oh, he's gonna change, he's gonna change. She had this deer in the headlights look that it's just gonna be better. And it never got better, it got worse.
The time when he broke my nose, we were all watching TV, and that really scared Shantina. She ran out of the house.
Yeah, I was scared, screaming and saying, let me out, let me out.
I heard this loud crack. It sounded like somebody cracked like two pieces of wood together. And my mother's nose was bleeding everywhere.
I went and reported it to my first sergeant. He sent me to medical. I said my husband punched me in the face. They took him to the break, but then they released him, and he beat me into oblivion so I would drop the charges. My first sergeant was so mad. Why did you drop the charges? And I was like thinking to myself, why did you release him? What else could I do? That's a big man.
Do you feel like you got used to a certain level of violence?
I think so. I think I got used to a certain amount of violence. As a little girl, my stepdad beat the hell out of us. And I think that's why I was abused by my husband. It was a learned trait.
My relationship with Ray was a very violent one. He used to abuse and beat me a lot, especially while my mother was gone. I remember the first day I came home from school on kindergarten, they would give us smiley faces where they would put a pin with a picture of a smiley face, and my smiley face was turned around, and he asked me why was my smiley face upside down. I said because I got in trouble for talking. So he got up and he went to the back room, and I could hear the clanking of the belt. And he said, well, you're a big boy now because you go to school. So I'm not gonna spank you anymore with my hand, I'm gonna spank you with this belt.
Hi, Mom and Dad. It's the 25th of December, 1994. It is Christmas Day. Well, everybody back at home in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Merry Christmas.
For Shantina to let me know who I am. My name tag.
Dad.
It says Dad.
Okay.
So whenever you guys start not picking up after yourselves, this gives me the authority to get the belt because I'm Dad.
Whenever my sister and I both did something wrong, Ray would bring both of us into the room and he would spank one of us and make the other one watch. And I remember how torturous it used to be for me as a kid to have to sit there and watch him abuse the crap out of my sister and to know that I was next. I really hated him. He was literally like the devil to me.
In my mind, I think because I'm in such denial, I can't always remember what he did. I can't believe he did that. I mean, he did it. Those children didn't deserve to be mistreated like that. I was always protecting him. And I shouldn't have. That was the biggest mistake. Biggest mistake.
I would tell my mother all the time, why are you dealing with Ray beating you? He is not my father. We can leave. For me, I always thought that my mother chose my stepdad over us.
She never talked about it to anybody. I was the only person that she talked about it to. And it's because I would question her when she came to my house with black eyes and broken nose and arm in a cast. And I kept begging her to get out of that situation. But she wouldn't hear of it. He was her everything. I love him. He's so good when he's good. And I said, yeah, baby, but it's so bad when it's bad.
She'd have bruises, stuff like that, but I had never seen any physical, except her getting into his face for and pushing him back, you're gonna talk to me, and that's when I left. I was uncomfortable with being around that, as it wasn't my place to say anything to them about what they were doing, so I would leave. I just, sometimes I go in a room, by the time I was gone. I just stood out because I would jumble marble eyes going, oh my God, they're gonna kill each other.